How old are your children?
That's a funny. I have two, a boy and a girl, and my son is 21 and my daughter is 18. So there have days where they think they're totally independent, and then all of a sudden, I need my mommy for something, which is great. And if you could just hear that back one day, you know, I'm just waiting for the day when they say, "How can I help you, Mom?" But
yeah, that will
maybe
come.
it
will
come. It will, hopefully.
Like when they're 30, 40.
I'm not going to hold my breath.
So talk to me about being a single mom and raising your children and having a design and marketing business all these years. Because, I mean, that must have been such a juggle.
It was. It wasn't, and it was a complete blur. Now that I think about it, and you know, as you go through life, you just make things happen, and you don't think about it too much. And then afterwards, it's like, wow, did I really do that? Because I don't know how I did it, but I did. When they were in grade school, I actually had I was really fortunate to have a really consistent art director job working on retail catalogs. I started doing all the photography in my own home. Wow. I mean, I brought a photographer in, but that was a way for me to, you know, have my kids around because it was like all contained. And then it was like a lot of housewares, so we were just shooting around my house. And so that was one way that I was able to juggle it all. And then I also hired a lot of moms that would be willing to work at night for me, basically. So, you know, I'd be doing stuff during the day and then we'd magically get things done at night. But that was really kind of a crazy, crazy time. And I'm glad I got through it and I learned a lot. But I would, at my age, I don't think I could do that now.
Yeah, it gets harder. Hey, I started very late, so it's all quite tiring.
Yeah, well, but I think he will keep you young.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and you talked about a wind energy startup that you were working with that didn't work out. Was that your own startup, or was it someone else's?
No, it was a good friend of mine that he often called me the first follower because I jumped on board and as a creative, I came up with a name and logo and tagline and all the things that go with creating a new company. It didn't completely launch. The technology is still out there and hopefully someday it will come to fruition, but I learned a lot.
Yeah, it's really hard when things don't work out and you've poured yourself into it. Not easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Your brain takes many of the things.
Well, I spent so much time learning about all of the details of renewable energy and things to the point that I felt like I could speak to it very well. So when the doubters would come, it just became really frustrating. It became frustrating for me because I kept thinking, doesn't everybody want the world to be a better place? And if there's something that's going to help everyone, why can't we get behind it? But I've since learned that it's not how it works.
Yeah, that's quite a big learning.
Yeah, exactly. Probably the biggest learning experience ever. So anyway, that's why I moved on to something that didn't cost as much, and hopefully people can get their head around in a much smaller way.
Yeah, incredible. So so let's talk about CLARDS and how you came up with it. Yeah, it's amazing to come up with
my cards.
I love
it. So I have a friend who has been selling lots of gifts for a long time, and I had met with him quite frequently trying to figure out what I was going to do next, because I knew I needed to do something that was better than just creating catalogs or stuff that nobody really needed. I've always designed t-shirts and mugs and even snow globes for retail catalogs and retail outlets. So when he showed me the European sponge cloth, this light bulb went off, and I thought, what else could we use it for? And my first thought was, why not make it into a greeting card, which I call CLARDS, and get people to give something that can be used. And hopefully, sometimes people won't even realize that they're being greener than they were before, because they just think it's kind of a fun, cute greeting, and they'll use it.
And also you keep it longer, because I mean, you forget about those cards that you get. You know, you put them away in a drawer or something and find them 10 years later. Whereas now you do it every day, so it's top of mind, especially Valentine. Thinking Valentine's.
Yeah,
so many opportunities.
Well, I have one that my daughter has written. She wrote, "I love you, Mom," and then I use it. And so when I'm cleaning up after her, I'm not as disgusted when I see this "I love you, Mom" written on this. So that's how I kind of envision, you know, like this. It's going to make the world a better place, because as you're cleaning up after your children who are old enough to clean up after themselves, it won't be as frustrating.
I'm always looking for ways to make housework more fun. Oh, what a brilliant thing. What a thought. I love it. I see your Kickstarter campaign is going really nicely. You've got 32 backers already, and it's over $4,000 that you've raised. That's going great.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So then you go into production, right?
Right. So my first order is to get the envelopes made, because they're custom, and that will take quite a few weeks, and it's a fairly large expense, because I have to order so many of them, and from there I will or at the same time start producing the greetings, the cards, which involves getting them actually printed. The ones that I have now are just really mock-ups. So they'll be screen printed and produced. At the same time, I will create a line to sell for retail, which will just be another line to my claws, which you can see in the background. Those are my soak-it-up claws that I'm already selling. That was really my low-hanging fruit to my company. I started there so I could understand everything about the product before I launched into creating greeting cards.
Okay, so the soak-it-up cloths are just cloths.
Cloths, yes.
Okay, but in the same fabric, the special.
Yes, they're the same fabric, and there's other people that sell them. My whole differentiator was that I only really print on bright colored cloths, and then I try to put fun and unique things on them that are often funny, or at least I think they're funny. And then I've also done a lot of regional designs. So those do really well because they're very specific to our region, and usually they're kind of silly. So there's nothing better than being silly when you're cleaning up, right?
Yeah, exactly. Make it fun. Yeah, that's definitely one of the secrets of happy women.
Yeah, exactly.
Reframe this whole, not fun stuff, and turn it into fun.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, that's amazing. So yeah, you're going to really kick into a whole new gear once you go into production and start selling retail. So when you sell retail, are you going to sell just in Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, or are you going to go the whole of America and Canada? What's your plan?
Yeah. Well, my hopes is to go all over, but I will start with I have a wholesale rep who's been instrumental in doing all of this. And so I will start there and hopefully grow. A lot of the gift shops and floral shops and things that sell them currently have heard about what I'm doing for years, because I have asked them, for years, is this something you're interested in? That's all kind of the background to CLARDS. And they're all just like, yes, when are you gonna do that? Whenever I see them.
It's fantastic. And just that emotional backing is really important, isn't it?
Exactly. We talked a little bit earlier about kind of having that self-dialogue and the self-doubt. And so it's really important as an entrepreneur who works by themselves, often in a little bubble, to make sure that you're on the right track and that people are going to want what you're creating. And so there's oftentimes I'm like, is this going to work? Is this a dumb idea? And I do reach out to a lot of friends that I probably drive crazy and say, what do you think of this? A few of them are like, oh yeah, that's great. That's why I try not to go. I don't go to my family because they'll say everything's great. I try to go to friends that will tell the truth.
Families are like that. That's great. That's your family. So supportive.
Exactly. Especially my 92-year-old mother. Anything I do is great.
I know.
And my dad, both of them.
Isn't it lovely to have that?
Oh, yeah, it is. It's great.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's good. Well, that's probably one of the things that has really kept you going all these years as a single mom, making it work for your kids and your
yeah.
Having good family really helps, doesn't it?
It does. It really does.
As the 21-year-old, hey, is he studying?
Yes. Well, he was studying for about a year, and then he got a job that he really loves.
Fantastic.
So he's focused on that job, but they really encourage their employees to finish their degrees and will pay for some of the tuition. So really? I am looking forward to him figuring out that next step, and then having the benefit of a great company supporting him. So I'm excited.
Oh, amazing. That is wonderful for you and for him.
Yeah, I just had to, tell myself, no, you need to support what he wants to do.
It's so different because the way people study has changed so much. I mean, you can study so much online without ever going to get a degree.
Exactly. And which is also great for his personality. I couldn't do it that way, but that's what he really likes, is to be able to study online. And I was really pushing him to get into a classroom and do all that. And he didn't want to do it. And I had to, kind of tell myself, just stop. And I had great friends too telling me, just let him figure it out.
Right.
And it's hard.
Yeah, parenting is not an easy journey, is it?
No, where's that handbook? I don't know.
There isn't one. And especially because as soon as you just think you've got it all figured out, they change.
Yeah.
And then it's a whole new journey you're going on. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, let me know when that handbook comes out. And
I must say, I found one, but I don't know if it's suited for this age child. It's called Hand in Hand Parenting, which is almost like a handbook. And it's in America. It's called Hand in Hand Parenting, and it teaches a very, very different way to parent. And I just fell in love with it. But it really, I think it is focused on young kids, but I'm sure there is a lot to do with teenagers. So how would you like people to help you, or what can people do for you right now who are listening to the interview? How can they get CLARDS out there? What would be amazing for you?
So the first thing, obviously, is to go to Kickstarter before February 11th and purchase something and pledge, and or just give me a couple bucks for that matter, because you can do that, and then help just spread the word is the big thing.
Okay, that sounds amazing. So we're going to send everybody to Kickstarter and get you some support.
Right. Yeah. So just go to Kickstarter and type in CLARDS, CLARDS.
Yeah. So you're going to sell on your own website and then also have it in retail. So in the stores, which stores do you want to get into, or you're going to just see who takes them?
Oh, the sky's the limit, really. I'm really hoping to partner with someone like Papyrus, who's already creating these wonderful cards that are of a certain caliber and are a little, more expensive. Mm-hmm. But hopefully they can use this idea in unison. And
I mean, do they know you want to partner with them, or have you not reached out to them?
Not yet. I'm just putting it out in the universe.
Okay, that's good. So hopefully they're listening. How are we going to get Papyrus to listen? That is very exciting. So maybe somebody watches this video and sees what you've said and they, know somebody at Papyrus. Wouldn't that be amazing? You just never know how it's going to happen.
You never know. You never know.
Okay, I love that. Okay, so it's nice to know. And are they in America as well?
Yes.
Okay. That shouldn't be too difficult, I'm sure. And are there like TV programs you're dying to be on that could maybe grow your star as well? Is there anything that you have in mind that you can really picture yourself on?
Oh, yeah. It's funny because I just had this conversation with my daughter that we need to do some vision boards. Mm-hmm. I need to do it. I've done it in the past, but I need to do it right now. And of course, I have huge dreams of Oprah, as everyone does, and Ellen. And just recently, to take it down to the local level, I did have a local television station did a little segment on Behind the Business, and it was great. It was really exciting. It was a great boost for my business and then just the awareness of my Kickstarter. So that was a first step.
Like your PR is good.
Well, it's all just by chance. I think a lot of it's just luck and by chance, and then taking those moments of opportunities. One of the things that I try to do on a regular basis is, a couple things. One is I try to go to any entrepreneur meetings or events around the Twin Cities.
So thank you very much for your time, and good to see how it all pans out, and hopefully we can get Papyrus on board, and that'll be amazing. And I hope that that somehow my interview will help you, just help you get ahead.
Yeah. Well, this was delightful, and as I said, it was great meeting you, and perhaps we can talk again afterwards, even just to follow up.
Yeah, I am planning to run a couple of online summits this year. So, it's like a sort of conference online. I don't know if you've done any of that. Yeah, so I want to do a mompreneur one and a fempreneur one. And certainly the mompreneurs, there's going to be a day dedicated to mom inventors. It's going to be great. Yeah, so if you'd like to come on board, that'll be amazing. And by then you'll have gone through the whole Kickstarter experience, so you'll have all that you can talk about as well, which will be amazing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But that's like 3 years in the making. I don't think I told you that, but it's been 3 years of me saying that I'm going to do a Kickstarter and finally do it.
Wow.
So
no, it's good. It's really nice to have that context, and so from start to finish, when did you start? Is it 3 years ago that you got this idea and started working on it? Or is it?
Yeah. So it's probably actually a little bit more than 3 years that I had started or had the idea, and then kind of went through trying to plan and figure out how I was going to execute, including the CLARDS part of it had to kind of be the secondary to creating the cloth company, because there was too many moving pieces, to creating something that hadn't existed before. And plus, as I said, I just decided that I needed to do a Kickstarter because I wanted to make sure that people would get their heads around it and that what I was doing was viable. So, yeah, 3 years.
Well, I think it's amazing. And
I think a lot of people could do it a lot quicker, but
that's normally the ballpark, I think. I think it does take that long to really get something, worthwhile off the ground. Yeah, I think you've done great. Things that happen along the way and research, and you build up towards it. And I noticed that there's a lot that goes into Kickstarter. You have to have a video, or is it more than one video? And there's a whole lot that you have to have prepared before you can actually do a Kickstarter. They're not easy.
No, well, and as I said, I had Tasha Mayberry helping me. And that was just one of those relationships that somehow she reached out, and I don't even know what I responded to, and I felt a connection, and it's been great. And she was instrumental in doing all those details, because honestly, I probably would have stopped after, the first short little paragraph. and kind of went, it's just, there's too many things going on. I can't get my head around it. So she was really instrumental in, just figuring out all those things and keeping us on track and putting it all together.
Yeah, the power of team, hey? It's so important to have the right people around you. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. And have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks, hey. Bye.